What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are jumping into Farming Simulator 22, and I am going to show you guys today exactly what are all the mods that I use and what are the top mods that I recommend. So we're going to jump right into it. All of my mods, just to start off with, are located in the mod hub, as you guys can see right here in the game already. If you guys open it up and go to the mod hub, if you're playing on PC, I believe it's the same place console. Now, I know not all of my mods that I run are located or are available, I should say, on console. But this is for PC. If you're on console, you can try to search it and find out. So all of the mods that I'm running in-game, as you guys can see, they are all located again in the mod hub. There are no third-party websites or anything like that. So I do have hundreds of mods literally in my game right now, as you can see. Every one of these mods is currently in my game if you guys have been watching my survival roleplay. So I have a lot of mods in my game. Now, I'm not going to go down each and every one of these. What I am going to do is I'm going to kind of touch base with just some of my top favorite ones here. They're in no specific order. I'm just going to show you all of the mods that I run. Now, you could feel free, if you see a mod on here you like, just search it by its name in the mod hub and you can find it yourself. Starting right off, I'm going to try not to say too many maps, but there's American Falls. This one's one of my favorite maps. I've actually not done too much with it in the game yet, but you guys will see some really cool stuff coming out with that. If I remember right, there's a really cool off-roading spot on that as well, and there's lots of water and everything. It's pretty cool. So the next one is a brush cutter, which, as we know, it's just a weed eater. I do need to update the one that I have in-game, because they did just recently come up with, you can now have a guard in it and you can change colors and everything else. Kind of add a little extra realism, even though I never run a guard on my weed eater in real life. Now, some of you guys may know I'm a big Mustang fan. I actually have owned quite a few Mustangs and will own even more. And this is pretty cool, a Mustang next to a Mustang, I guess you can say. But this is one of my favorites too. I actually have not used it yet in the game, but it's pretty cool to have, to where you can go out and just play around with it. Now, the wired chicken coop is one of my favorites. As you guys know, I do have a little bit of a different chicken coop, but this is cool because it's wired, it's enclosed over top as well as all around. So that'd be a good one to put out at like a farm or pasture with like goats and things like that, because it's going to help protect against some predators like coyotes and stuff. Now again, feel free, if you see anything on here that I'm not saying, I do recommend all of these. I'm just kind of going over my favorite ones here. Now I have fruit greenhouses. This is cool. It does add several different fruits to the game in terms of greenhouses. And these are pretty cool. And there's everything from enclosed greenhouses to even open greenhouses. And you can, it makes it really easy for loading and unloading your product. Now, the dirt bike is always awesome. It's supposed to be a Honda CRF 450 or whatever you choose. You can change the colors of it, make it like a Yamaha, just like that right there. But it's a very well detailed dirt bike and pretty fun to ride, especially in off-road oriented maps. Manure system. Most of you guys are probably already running manure system, but this adds the ability to connect pumps to it, your manure tanks and everything like that, and pump manure into your manure spreaders and pump them into other tanks and so on and so forth, and you add the hoses you physically have to connect. That's pretty cool. Now this other one here, this is exhaust extension. This is cool. It does get a little annoying on some vehicles that don't necessarily need smoke, but if you look right there, it does add an extra level of smoke, and it's really cool upon startup on some of these older vehicles. Like that looks pretty good on that truck. Now some of the newer vehicles that are gas maybe don't necessarily need that kind of mod because they don't smoke that much, but it's still cool to have. Now, this is a buncher here. It's a 669 buncher. I do really enjoy this setup right here. You guys are actually going to be seeing this very, very soon, and it's cool because you can make it John Deere colors, yellow and green, or even just straight yellow. But you guys are going to be seeing this on my channel very, very, very soon. This is probably one of the more realistic tractors that a lot of logging companies start out with. They don't just quite go straight into the excavator style grapple and tractor, and it's very customizable. You can make it whatever color you want. I do really enjoy this mod. It's one of my favorites, and as I said, you guys are going to be seeing that a lot more coming up very, very soon in the game. So this one's pretty cool. It's a tree nursery. This one will produce shrubs and boxwood and agave and bamboo as well. So it's pretty cool. It's greenhouses essentially, but it grows trees instead of plants and fruits. So I like that little realism to that, because not every greenhouse needs to grow trees. Now you can't go wrong with a good mower mod. I do personally enjoy this one here, even though it's more of a residential mower. However, you can add front weights to it, and you can get a bagging system to it that works really well. It is a small bagging system, so it fills up pretty quickly, especially considering that mower does go pretty fast. And it's only a 42-inch deck, but it's still one of my favorites. Now, I am going to try my best to keep out of actual DLCs like this. For example, this is the Kubota pack. I'm going to try and stay away from things like that. At least the paid DLCs. We'll go over that in a later video. Another one I really like here is the Vermeer BC 1000 XL. It's basically just a wood chipper, but for those of you that know, I do like to do the landscaping roleplay and all that good stuff. So this one right here adds an extra level of realism to it. It's pretty cool to see. And to be able to cut trees and shred it up just like that. Now this one here is a toolbox pack. It has various levels of toolboxes. You have everything from a big one all the way down to small ones that you can throw in the bed of your truck and be able to actually drive out to your tractors and equipment out in the field and actually fix them out in the field. There's a trailer with all the different ones. Personally, the main reason why I downloaded this mod is because of this big one toolbox right there that we're going to actually put in a garage to where we can work on stuff. But I do like the fact that you can put toolboxes in the bed of your truck and go out and kind of fix things out in the middle of the field. Now again, as I'm going down this, please feel free, if you see any of these mods that I'm not mentioning, it doesn't mean that I don't recommend them. It's just that there's so many mods that I run to say them all. So I'm kind of just going down various different ones. So the next one's compost. As you guys know, I'm big on composting and I do enjoy the whole compost aspect in real life. Well, this adds compost in the game. You can actually add things to different composters like grass, manure, stuff like that, just in a little compost box like this here, like I actually have in real life, and it will create compost over time, and it'll come out in bags just like that, and you can use it, or you can use it yourself, or you can sell it. Now this one right here is one of the top ones, definitely must have. Map Object Hider. This can actually hide most objects on the map, even in the vanilla game. And you can see right there kind of how it does it. You can click on it and you can see what you've hidden and you can actually restore it. And it'll look just like that. You see you can get rid of the sign, and most vanilla stuff that's in the game you can hide, including even giant boulders and rocks and mailboxes. Now I have noticed that in some maps there are some things that cannot be hidden, so just keep that in mind. Now back on greenhouses, here's 3 greenhouses again. There's one there, and one there. You guys can search it by those names. I do enjoy these as well, and I do run these a lot also. Now, I am a sucker for old trucks and old tractors, so you guys are going to see a lot of older tractors throughout here and a lot of older trucks. For example, here's a Mac R truck with a grain truck and all that good setup, which I love the Mac R. That's a really good truck that I run a lot in American Truck Simulator, as you guys know. I started a little barn find series with it. It's one of my favorite trucks, and I love that. I love the way it looks. That looks like a grain truck to me. Just that Mac R. The Mac R and the Ford F800 just keeps that good traditional grain truck style to me. Now the Lawn Care Trailer Pack. This is a must if you do any kind of lawn care role playing like I do in the game. So you have all different kinds of trailers like this right there. You even have some enclosed trailers, but my favorite is this one here. You have a spot for a mower on the back, but you also have a dump trailer connected on it to where you can haul grass clippings and mulch and what have you in that. It's pretty nice. I do recommend that one a lot. And again, several various old tractors, including a Ford tractor and some old John Deere Type A tractors. I do enjoy those a lot. Another Mack truck. And kind of scrolling down, you guys can take a look at all of the mods that I have. And actually, this is giving you guys a nice little sneak peek at some upcoming videos. Because if you see mods in here you probably haven't seen in my game yet, just know that there's probably a video coming out for it. Now, 2 must-haves are the Real Dirt Color and the Real Dirt Particles. So the Real Dirt Particles right here, it's going to change the mud characteristic, and it's going to make it look more realistic. Whatever I just tried to say there, it's going to change the texture of the mud anyway, as you can see right there, and it's going to make it look thicker anyways, as it does, you see. And there's mud with lime on it, which I do enjoy. And then you add the Real Dirt Color. It'll actually just change it, the color of it, and whatever it gets on your tractor. So if you got mud and dirt on your tractor, or do you have lime on your tractor, or do you have snow on your tractor, just like that right there. I do enjoy that a lot. As well as if it's getting covered with grass and chaff, you'll start to see it on there. So that really complements the real dirt particles, especially right there. There's one you can see the real dirt particles and the real dirt color. I do recommend that one a lot if you want the more realism in the game. Now again, I'm going to try and stay away from some DLC packs and Precision Farming. That is one I do highly recommend, Precision Farming. I can't remember if that is a DLC pack. I believe that one is a DLC. Yeah, it's a DLC pack. So again, I recommend that one, but we're going to stay away from paid DLCs. Now going on, here is the Lizard F350, which is a F350 Power Stroke. I do recommend this as well. That's a great truck. As you can see, there's a lot of customization. I'm currently running it as a dually truck, just like this one here. Absolutely love this truck. It's very, very fun, very nice, lots of customization. So you can really make it look however you want to make it look. And going on again, there's some older tractors. There's an axe mod. I do enjoy that one a lot. And kind of scrolling down, you can see more older tractors, different things. There's a winch. That one's cool. It's a fifth wheel winch, so it connects into the fifth wheel. Old white tractors. These are pretty nice. Very, very good tractors. Again, I do love me some old Ford pickups. And the firewood processor, I absolutely love this. It's a firewood processor and cell point. There's the cell point right there, but then the firewood processor looks just like that. You can unfold it. It actually automatically will pick up logs, put it in here, and we'll actually split them, go up a conveyor belt, and dump them into the trailer. I do have quite a few videos already on my channel on that right there, as you can see right there. I do really enjoy this mod right here. This is a very good mod. That's one I do recommend, especially if you like the realism. And again, more greenhouses. I'm a sucker for greenhouses and sheds. I do like a lot of sheds. This is American Garden Shed, so we're eventually going to have this on our farm where we keep all of our smaller equipment inside it, so that's pretty cool. More greenhouses. I do have a fish farming setup. We haven't got into that yet, but it's basically a fish hatchery. Now, reel mower. This is one I highly recommend as well. This will allow you to actually cut down like brush and all this stuff, kind of brush and shrubbery. It'll allow you to cut that down. You can see reel mower off, reel mower on. It leaves these behind. It actually cuts them down. So that's cool in terms of role playing when it comes to brush cutting and brush hogging. I do really enjoy that. Now the open air garden here is another one I really like for those of you that like to do greenhouses. This one's cool because you can make a greenhouse out of it, or you can actually make just an open raised garden bed. And this is one of the future upgrades that I'm going to do here. It'll look just like this. To our farm, as you guys may know, we have just a dual stage open garden, I guess you can say, or raised garden bed, just two separate ones as like a trial, but we're eventually going to move up to the big one. Going on down, there's lots of different ones that you can see here. There's lots of equipment, as you can see. Here's one that I do really enjoy too. It's the Lizard T-Rex 600. It's basically a giant mulching unit that you can forestry up, and it's actually pretty cool. Very fun to run, very fun to demolish trees, like you can see that right there. There's going to be a lot of role playing coming with that tractor itself. And then one of my favorite tractors actually is the Big Bud 747. If you do not know what this tractor is in real life, I definitely suggest you pull your phone right now after you're done watching this video, of course, and Google Big Bud 747. It's one of the largest tractors in production right now, and they are actually making them. I can't remember sizes, but this wheel is huge, just the wheel itself. This is one of the biggest, strongest tractors they have created in production in real life. And they did just come up with a new one. They did just finally start producing them again. And this one's very fun, especially for the bigger farms, because it's a huge tractor. It can tow a lot behind it, and it can tow big stuff behind it. So pretty fun to use at least once. You got to use it just to try it out. Now, kind of going down, everyone likes everyone likes Bobcats, little skid steers. So this is a good mod right here. It's the Bobcat 863 Turbo with Bobcat shovel. This is pretty cool if you like more detailed stuff. Now that is more of a smaller tractor. Speaking of smaller tractors, here's the Big Bud 747's little brother. It's the Big Bud 450. This is going to be closer to the real life size of a normal tractor that you're used to that's articulating. So if you're used to just a normal size articulating tractor with dual wheels, this this is closer to that size. To give you the size comparison, the Big Bud 747 is about 3 times this size, if not more. And then going down, we're back on the Real Dirt Fix. Complements the Real Dirt particles and the Real Dirt color. This will actually help you give the real dirt tracks and everything like that. And what this will do is this will actually prevent rain and dirt and things like that from cleaning your tractor. So as you guys know, in the base game, as you drive through mud and as you drive back on the road, it'll start to clean your tractor off. With this mod in place, it will not just clean your tractor off. You actually have to take it and wash it to thoroughly do it. Now you can see there's some honorable mentions like the Dumpers pack, as well as the Seasons pack right here, the Decor pack. I do like that. You got everything from snowmen to cactuses to pumpkins, so that's pretty cool. Now this one right here, if you're a big John Deere fan, this one's awesome. Again, it's the John Deere 8R, 8RT, 8RX 2020. So it's 3 different tractors with lots of customization into it. Everything from fertilizing setups to dual row crop setup, single row crop setup, plowing setup, track setup, what have you. There's lots of customization for those 3 tractors. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Another one is Field Creator. So this package, what it does, what this mod does, the Field Creator, is it actually has like cultivators and things like that. Typically you can only create a field with maybe a plow. This creates fields with giant cultivators. And it's very, very handy when you are trying to make a very large field, because as some of you guys may know, there are bigger cultivators and harrows in the game, more so than there are plows, or at least you can get a bigger working width in cultivators than you can in plows. With this mod, it'll actually allow the cultivators to create fields too. So if you're playing on big maps and trying to combine big fields, that's definitely the one you want to do. And then another one is Player Position Saver. I absolutely love this mod. It's one of my very favorite mods that I run. Basically what it is, when you get out of the game, in the base game, when you load it back in, it automatically sets you at a default point. What I like to do, and what this mod does, is when you load back into the game, every time it will remember your last position that your player was in, and it will load you in that last position. I like that a lot because I'm always doing a lot on each different map, and I can really never remember what I'm doing sometimes unless I load in right in front of it. So I like this mod a lot. But then there's also the final one, last but not least, is the grass mowing mod. This allows you to cut grass and actually harvest grass at any stage in its growing stage. So whether it's real small like this over here, or it's real tall like this over here, you can actually cut it and harvest some of it. Now the harvest amount does vary depending on the size of it. So if it's fully grown, you're obviously going to get more grass clippings and things like that than you will when it's down to, you know, shaved level at this much. But it's pretty cool for those of you that like to play role-playing and do lawn mowing setups like I do. It gives you a little bit more realism. Now, of course, as I said, there are several mods that I run. I mean, you guys can say I literally run over probably 110, 120, 150 mods. I don't even know how many mods I run in the game at one time, but I run a lot of mods. And I've told you guys a lot here, but there's a lot that I didn't tell you. Please feel free, if you see any mod in here, they're mods that I run and I actually love. So if you see it in here, go ahead and search it in the Mod Hub and try it out yourself. The ones that I mentioned are just some of my absolute favorites. But it doesn't mean that there's not other mods that aren't as good. And there are some other mods that will be coming up in the future that are not on here, like the Place Anything Anywhere mod. I do highly recommend that, but it's not in the workshop. You will have to get that and like the Mod Hub on like Farming Simulator 22 mods website or another third-party website. There's also Terraforming. That's another really cool one I would definitely recommend. But anyways, as I said, these are just mods that are in the Mod Hub and relatively easy to get. So definitely check them out. Let me know in the comments below which mods do you guys run that I do, or what's some of your favorite mods. Give me your top 3 favorite mods that you guys run in the game and let me know what they are, and let's see if maybe I actually run them myself. So anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please smash that like button, and I will see y'all in the next video.